Oh, if you have heard me say that Moms for Liberty is a criminal group, is a bad group, is a group of ne'er-do-wells. Um, I I just want to rely on an old friend for making my point for me.
Well, I sure hope somebody picks up that phone.
Do what?
Because I f***ing called it!
This is The Advocate. Moms for Liberty defends defends Hitler quote in newsletter before removing it. Okay. Moms for Liberty, a far they'll explain what this is about if you're not familiar. Don't worry, it's coming up. Moms for Liberty, a far-right organization that claims to advocate for parental rights in education, was recently labeled a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center, which monitors extremism, has apologized prominently for prominently using an Adolf Hitler quote in an Indiana chapter's inaugural newsletter. Now, just in case you're thinking, well, did they accidentally do this thing? And they've accidentally discovered something about themselves. No, from what I saw, it had the full-on dash Adolf Hitler. They very much meant to quote Adolf Hitler. Earlier this week, the Hamilton County chapter of the group shared a revised version of its newsletter, The Parent Brigade, after previously sharing and defending one featuring the Hitler quote the Associated Press reports. We condemn Adolf Hitler's actions and his dark place in human history, chapter chair Paige Miller, a known scumbag, wrote on the cover of the reworked newsletter. We should not have quoted him in our newsletter and express our deepest apologies. We really want to make clear, I imagine she said, that we simply want to do the things that he advocated for, but we don't want all that baggage. In the newsletter's first edition, Hitler was quoted saying, "He who owns the youth gains the future." The quote appears to have originated from one of Hitler's 1935 rally speeches, but that is uncertain. Now you might be thinking, oh, it's uncertain. It's uncertain. Well, surely then, they didn't know. Surely they didn't know. Oh, look right there. Adolf Hitler. Circled helpfully by Alejandra Caraballo. A Moms for Liberty newsletter quotes Hitler. If you're still wondering why Southern Poverty Law Center labeled them a hate group, well put, Alejandra. After the Indianapolis, again, I've seen this local newspaper a couple of times now. After the Indianapolis Star reported on the quote late Wednesday, Moms for Liberty's local chapter added a context section to its newsletter. The quote from a horrific leader should put parents on alert, the revised version stated. If the government has control over our children today, they control our country's future. We, the people, must be vigilant and protect children from an overreaching government. And I dare say, Those versions were removed by Thursday morning, and the chapter posted in its new newsletter, which replaced Hitler's quote with an apology. Moms for Liberty advocates for things critics say come straight from the Nazi playbook. For example, it advocates for removal of certain books about topics its members deem inappropriate for children. Those topics are the existence of homosexuals. Look, we'll talk about it on the other side. That is too good not to mention. Yeah, they turned around and said, "Oh, we were trying to use it to say that this is a bad thing, that the government's trying to control our youth." But the fact that their behavior is indistinguishable from what the Nazis were doing, the fact that it wasn't clear from their behavior what they were all about, or the fact that they were trying to it's reasonable to argue that what they were saying is we can't let them control our youth. We must control our youth. That's sort of it, isn't it? Because it never comes down to how about, crazy, I know this is going to sound, but how about school as a place where facts are presented and that's that? The far right argument, in my estimation, is that the wrong propaganda is being pushed on children, and the right propaganda must be. Let me tell you what the left argument is. The left-wing argument is that propaganda shouldn't be pushed on children, and we should make our best attempt, acknowledging that we're going to be imperfect, because we all have our own biases. We should make our best attempt to just teach the truth, because hopefully all these problems we haven't been able to solve, hopefully one of those kids is going to be sharp enough to solve it one day. And we're going to hamper the odds of that happening if we go on teaching them the same propaganda we kept falling for. Not all facts will make you comfortable, but facts are facts. And Moms for Liberty, according at least to the Southern Poverty Law Center, that's a hate group. And if you're on their newsletter, you're on the newsletter for a hate group. And you should ask yourself, what made you sign up?